What's going on, Minecraft fans? My name's TheNotable, and in this video, I'll be fighting the Warden. Yeah, the Warden, the new, super unkillable boss that I'm definitely going to kill. Since the Warden was announced, pretty much everyone's been in my comment sections telling me that it's gonna kill me, and I'm gonna prove in this video that it won't. So today, I'll be fighting the Warden, doing some different tests. I don't want to run straight in on my hardcore world. I'll be playing on a backup of my hardcore world as it was on day 2000. If you want to check out the world download, check the link in the description. So if you see me die at any point in this video and think that the hardcore world is gone, it's not. It's just pretend. None of it's real. If you'd like to stay updated on 3000 days, you can always check my Twitter. I keep an updated day counter there. And I guarantee 3000 days will be out sometime in 2022. So subscribe so you don't miss it. You gotta know, in 3000 days, one of my main goals is to kill the Warden. However, there's just way too much at stake to go in blind. And that's kind of what this video is about. I'm gonna kill the Warden in a backup world to see if I can handle it. Again, I'm doing this all on a backup, so none of this is going to actually affect my main world. My world's actually on day 2500 right now, and there's so much different on my main compound, it's sort of crazy. If you want to see what it looks like, you'll have to wait until the release of 3000 days, but I will give the crazy fans out there a little screenshot right now. Enjoy your free likes posting that on Reddit and Twitter. You're very welcome. Anyway, let's get into it. For the first fight, I just spawned the Warden. That's it, on my main camp. I just did it. I didn't test anything, I didn't try anything out, I just decided to spawn the guy and see what happened. A lot of people were wondering what would happen if I fought a Warden on my main compound. Of course, this would never really happen because it doesn't spawn in the overworld, but people wanted to see. I'll say it's no joke. Do not mess around with the Warden. Not only did it have a ton of health, but it did a bunch of damage, and the darkness effect was incredibly disorienting. And even if you can get out of his melee range, that sonic blast attack is absolutely devastating. It would hit me behind walls, whether the Warden could see me or not, because I guess he can smell. Weird. He wasn't able to one-hit me with all my armor and beacon powers, but eventually, even with golden apples and all my gear, he did kill me. I really wasn't sure what was going to happen the first time I spawned him, and I'm honestly not surprised that I died. I wasn't ready. I just wasn't ready, but I was ready on my second attempt. Here I got way more totems in my hotbar, and this time I'll only be eating golden apples for food. For this attempt, I haven't spawned in any gear that I didn't already have, so this is all stuff that I would already have in my main hardcore world. Even with the extra totems, even only eating golden apples, it was still really hard. Gave me a very hard time. I had to burn a ton of totems. The only way I was able to kill him on this second attempt is I was able to cheese it with the wall. He got stuck and I shot him with my bow. The Warden is very strong, very fast, and has a ton of health. Even on my compound in the open air with all my beacon powers, I almost died, but I wanted to kill it. And I wanted to do it with my bare hands. Well, a sword, but melee only. Now, I wanted to make sure I could get this done, so I spawned myself a stack of god apples. If you don't know, the god apple is pretty much the best item in the game. If you eat one, you can overcome basically everything, and I've got 64 of them. And I'm surprised, it was still kind of a close fight. Yeah, it took 4 god apples, which would take a very long time to find. If you had to burn 4 god apples every time you wanted to fight the Warden, it's just not worth it. It's definitely not a realistic strategy for fighting him over and over, but let's be honest, there's really no reason to fight him over and over. Want to take a quick tangent and talk about what the Warden drops. All he drops is one little useless item. Yeah, that's it. I kind of have a bit of a problem with this. I think the Warden should definitely have something of a drop. It almost feels like an insult that it doesn't. Now, I'm not saying we need a new powerful item when we kill the Warden. I don't think Minecraft wanted to give us a new powerful item. We did just get netherite armor. But it almost feels like a punch in the gut when you kill a boss in the game and you get nothing. If you kill the Ender Dragon, you get access to the End and the Elytra and the Dragon Egg. If you kill the Wither, you get a Nether Star where you can make beacons, one of the best items in the game. And if you kill the Warden, you get nothing. Well, one little item. But again, it's basically nothing. Here's my idea, and you can use it. Everyone else does. What if we got a Warden head? That doesn't increase our power. It's just a trophy. Something to show that you actually did it. It's also an easy update. I'm just saying, Minecraft, you should hire me. Minecraft wanted to make this an enemy that's nearly invincible. One that you would almost never choose to fight versus running away from. But they have to know that there's
crazy people out there like me
that are still going to try to kill it. And I just don't really like that there's nothing for us. Just give us a head. That's all we want. Anyway, back to slaying this thing. After taking it out with a stack of 64 god apples, I decided to take it out with just regular golden apples. That's no more power than I already have in my hardcore world. I didn't have to spawn anything for this attempt. Let's go. Did the fight completely melee only, and it took about 10 golden apples and a few totems. The fight was also much closer. I came very close to death on a few occasions. However, in the end, I did kill him. Now, this is on my main compound where I have all my beacon powers, all my items, and tons of room to run around, so it's obviously a way different fight down in the ancient city. We'll get to that. I want to show you the power of the Minecraft wall. I'm a big fan of building walls in my hardcore world. The walls have kept me alive for so long. I attribute all of my success to my walls. And as you can see, even the Warden is absolutely no match for them. The Warden couldn't use his melee attack over the wall, but he still could shoot me. I used a lot of totems getting this kill because I wanted to do it without eating any food, and I was definitely able to. I don't know why I did that. Just kind of felt like it might be cool. If you use a wall to take away the Warden's melee attack, all he has is that sonic blast attack. And that thing does do a lot of damage, but it's not enough that you can't out-heal it quickly. You can also see here that you don't have to be that far away from the Warden before it stops shooting you with a sonic blast. And this is where the wall comes in handy. You can trap the Warden behind a wall, run away, and he effectively becomes useless. I've been preaching it for years now. Go build a wall. And of course, if you're fighting the Warden in the open air like me, all you gotta do is fly away and shoot him with an arrow. In this clip, I flew up to a high point and shot the Warden with 21 arrows, and that was enough to kill it. No damage, no food, just a dead Warden. Also want to point out, no loot. It was really fun killing the Warden on my main compound. I don't think I'll ever have to do that, but I know a lot of YouTube comments have wanted to see that, so I hope you liked that. It was fun for me. I'm kind of sad it got me that one time, but I wasn't ready. Now, in the next part of the video, I've got sort of a spoiler. Not a huge spoiler, kind of a little spoiler. I don't know, low-key spoiler coming up, just letting you know. It won't ruin all of 3,000 days for you. It's just an idea I have, and I'm testing it out in this video. Are you ready? Last chance to leave, though really, you're fine. You can stay. You ready? All right. I want to trap the Warden. Yeah, you can't trap the Ender Dragon. You can't trap the Wither. The Warden? Might be nice to have trapped. I've got a bunch of rooms in my Emerald Tower that have different trapped monsters and mobs, and you know what? It'd be nice to add the Warden. I didn't really know if it was possible, and I wasn't going to try for the first time on my main hardcore world because that's a really easy way to get yourself killed, so I did a lot of testing in this video. And I'm glad I did do the testing because this is the first machine that I built. Please don't make fun of me for it. I did it quickly. It was a Warden kill chamber. I wasn't sure if it was gonna work, and as you can see on screen, it didn't. In that particular clip, I just grabbed some God Apples and handled the Warden, but still, I don't have 64 God Apples on my main camp. Seems like it's very possible to trap the Warden. All you really have to do is build some sort of pit where it can't despawn by going back into the ground. Here, I was able to simply trap a Warden in a glass box and it wouldn't despawn, especially with a name tag. Now that didn't stop it from attacking me because the Warden can smell. It doesn't just see and hear you, it can actually smell you. But if the end goal is to trap a Warden by any means, I think I can do it. Then I went down to the ancient cities and showed that it's entirely possible. Not only is the Warden pushed by water, but it also very easily fits in a 1x3 hole. So you can effectively transport the Warden like any other monster. Now, getting the Warden all the way from an ancient city up into my Emerald Tower will be quite a process, but I think it's possible. We'll see. Maybe that's what ends up killing me, but you'll have to watch 3,000 days to find out. Now, I bet what you really want me to see is fighting a Warden down in the ancient city. It's one thing to take out a Warden on my main camp where I have beacons and open air, but how about down in the caves? I'm telling you right now, don't do it. It's not worth it. You're not gonna win. Just don't. Minecraft has told and warned us that they want the Warden to be nearly unkillable. It's a mortal creature, it can die, but it's strong, especially in its element. Here I loaded up a random world, found an ancient city, and fought the Warden with a replica of my gear in the ancient city. It wasn't even close. Like, there was just no chance. You can't fly away, the darkness effect is terrible underground, and even if you bring night vision potions, if he ever pops your totem, you have to drink another. You could maybe bring beacons down here to help your odds, but those don't go forever. Only 50 blocks, and the Warden has a lot more room to run. And there is always God Apples, but like I said earlier, there's really no point to that. It's not like you get anything from fighting the Warden. So wasting a bunch of God Apples just to kill the Warden down in an ancient city is utterly pointless. There's no reason to do it. So here's now what I wanted to test. How could I loot an ancient city? With the same replica of my gear, I walked around, grabbed as much loot as I could with torches, and when the Warden spawned, I pretty much had to run. It's not a monster that you can stand up to and fight. It's one that you really need to run away from. But that running away is not all that hard. Using an elytra, it was actually fairly easy. One of the things that I used pretty well in this clip is diving into the chest with my elytra, looting as fast as I could, and then leaving with my elytra. Sometimes I was able to get in and out before the Warden even spawned. And if you get far enough away from the Warden, it can't hear you or smell you, and you don't have a darkness effect. So you just gotta be quick. Well, the loot's pretty good in the chest, but for a top tier player, really the only thing you're gonna want is Swift Sneak 3. It's a new enchantment that goes on your legs, and it makes you sneak much faster. It will help in the ancient ancient cities, but it also might help you to build things faster. You can see on screen me placing a block bridge, and it's way faster with Sneaky Step 3. It's really the only reason I will be going down into the ancient cities is to get this enchantment and leave so I can have it on my gear. So one of the first things I wanted to test was an emergency exit. How do I get out of the ancient city as fast as possible without the Warden coming to kill me? Pretty easy. The Warden is 3 blocks tall like a wither skeleton, so it can't fit through a 1x2 doorway. Now it can still shoot you through walls, so you gotta get out of there fast. Otherwise that sonic boom will kill you. And the best way that I found was just a simple bubble elevator. All you have to do is go through a 1x2 doorway to a bubble elevator. You'll be out of there before the Warden can even smell you. Once I had a realistic emergency exit, I decided to try looting the end city the way I felt best. I geared up with realistic gear that I would actually have in my main hardcore world. And I didn't put Sneaky Step on my pants because I don't have it. The goal here in this test world was to get enough enchantment books to make myself Sneaky Step 3, because honestly, if I got that, I would never have to come back to an ancient city. There's a lot of god apples and other things, so I might come back, but for the most part, if I got Sneaky Step 3, I could probably never come back. The biggest thing for me was bringing elytra, rockets, and a night vision potion. The night vision potion makes navigating so much easier. Not only can you see all the chests and get around better, but when the Warden physically spawns, the darkness effect isn't as powerful. Normally, the darkness effect pretty much makes your entire screen black and can be very hard to run around. But when you have night vision active, you can kind of see a little bit more, and it makes getting away a lot easier. Within no time, I had looted enough chests down here in the ancient city to get Sneaky Step 3, and I'll never have to come back. There were no problems. If I did get a Warden activated, all I had to do was fly away. There was never any danger. So if you've learned anything in this video, it's not to fight the Warden. It doesn't matter how strong you are, just don't do it. It's not smart. You can outsmart the Warden and get all of its juicy loot without having to fight it. There's no point. It doesn't even drop anything good. I hope one day it does. Warden heads is a pretty harmless thing they can add, but we'll see if they do. If you like this video and can't wait for 3,000 days, make sure to subscribe. I would really appreciate that. Thank you all for watching. Stay notable. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.